Hey everyone, Mike with OneTut.net here, and today is your 6th tutorial in my HTML Fundamentals series. And today what we're going to be talking about is pre-formatted text. And the two main codes we're going to be talking about are our code tags and pre-tags. So let's get started. Now I'm going to have you open your text editor up, and once again I've created a basic text 4 folder inside of my HTML fundamentals folder, and I created my index.html with my basic structure. To start this off, I'm going to teach you guys the code tag. Now the code tag represents computer code, and to use this what we have to do is first create a paragraph. Now let's type, this is some basic computer code, and I'm going to use some C++ I've written, and what we're going to do is just take this top line for now. Now what we're going to do is we're going to wrap it inside of code tags, and save it. I'm going to add a period at the end of that, and we're going to open it up in our web browser right now. And as you can see, here's our paragraph, and then our code starts right here. You notice the different text. That's because it's using a monospaced font. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the text editor, and we're going to take a look at another tag. This is going to be the pre-tag. And what the pre-tag is, it defines pre-formatted text. And I'll show you an example right here. Now, pre-formatted text means you can type on multiple lines, and unlike paragraphs where if we went like this and just kept doing multiple lines like this, normally this would just show up on one line. So what I'm going to do is we're going to copy everything inside of this paragraph, and we're going to paste it inside of our pre-tag. Now let me back up a little bit so it looks identical. The only difference here is the tags. This is a paragraph tag and this is a pre-tag. So let's hit save, and we're going to open this up in our browser. And like I showed you, this paragraph, even though it's on multiple lines, it's only showing up on one line. But down here where it's in the pre-tag, it is showing up on multiple lines. So let's go in our text editor. Let's make this look a little more neat. Let's get the first paragraph back into a single line, and let's delete everything in our pre-tag. Now the only issue with pre-tags are the fact that it actually indents as much as it's indented in the text editor. So say you wanted to type a line, this is line 1, and you returned down to, this is line 2, this is line 3. Now let's save that. Let's go back into our browser and look at that. Now you notice how it's on 3 separate lines, but these two are indented. That's because HTML actually sees this as how much it's indented. So when we're trying to organize our page out, the indentations become a real problem here. So when we're using our pre-tag and we want it on 3 lines, we actually have to backspace and make it look a little bit unorganized here. And when we save it, so now it's on 3 lines. Which that's the biggest problem I find with pre-tags, which is the reason why I don't use them often. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how to insert the code tags inside of the pre-tags. So let's start by opening a code tag after the opening pre-tag and closing the code tag before the closing of the pre-tag. Let's tab down a line, and let's copy this whole code I have right here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste it. And this right here is identical to this. Now, when we save it, this looks good. And that's because I have it completely backspaced all the way to the very edge of the editor. So we can't really, when we use the pre-tags, even with the code tags, we can't tab out to make our page look clean, which is a problem I find with the pre-tag. But as you can see, you can use the code tag inside of the pre-tag, and these are often used together because usually when you're displaying computer code on website, it's not just one line of code, it's multiple lines like this. Now, another thing I want to talk about is depending on what version HTML you're using, there is an attribute inside of the pre-tag. It's called width, and width has a value of a number, but the problem is it's not supported by HTML5, but it is with HTML4. So I can't really use it here to show you guys how it works, but basically what it does is it sets the maximum number of characters per line. And so I could, if you only wanted 10 characters, it would only go out this far, and then it would separate down to another line. So that's the basic usage behind the code tags and the pre-tags. So if you like this tutorial, hit like and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys at my next tutorial, which is going to be the last of our basic text section of my HTML fundamentals, and it's going to be called Addresses and Citations. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to check out our forum at www.onetut.net.